A new president, buildings, and programs for a new year here at UConn. Thanks for joining us on UCTV News. I'm Emily Carbali. Thomas Casoleas comes to UConn from the University of Virginia, where he was executive vice president and provost. Now, he's UConn's 16th president. So far this year, Casoleas has made himself pretty visible around campus, holding office and coffee hours at the Beanery Cafe, and even helping students move in before the first day of classes. Casoleas says his biggest goal is to expand research funding and boost entrepreneurship, saying he hopes to leapfrog UConn's peers. Casoleas takes the job over from Susan Herbst, who held the position for 8 years. She will return to her job as a professor at UConn Stanford. Also new this year, the brand new state-of-the-art Student Recreation Center is officially open for business. The 191,000 square foot, $100 million building comes complete with a climbing wall, swimming pool, and even Freshens Cafe. UConn sports reporter Noam Watts sat down with the building's executive director, Cynthia Cassano. You can see his entire exclusive interview on the UCTV YouTube page. Tailgating, a UConn tradition that some say has gotten out of hand in the past few years. This year, athletics director David Benedict announced some stricter rules for the pre-game festivities. Effective immediately, kegs and hard alcohol will no longer be allowed at tailgates, and law enforcement will have a greater presence at the games. Benedict warned in an email that students last week that if the new rules are not followed, then the opportunity to tailgate will be revoked. The latest U.S. News report ranked the University of Connecticut as one of the top 25 public institutions in the nation. UConn dropped to number 24 in the ranking this year, down from last year's spot at number 22. According to UConn Today, the drop was partially due to the way financial resources have been allocated at UConn in the past year. The report also showed UConn as a leader in freshman retention rates and in average SAT scores for incoming freshmen. UConn students paying to get into sports events? Well, that's a thing of the past. UConn Athletics announced that effective this school year, students will need to simply swipe their ID to get into any regular season UConn game. Participating sports include football, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, and men's hockey. UConn Athletics Director David Benedict said that he's excited for the new program because students create an exciting atmosphere at games. UConn's Jurgensen Center for the Performing Arts will now offer a limited number of free student tickets prior to every show during the 2019 and 2000 school year. According to the Jurgensen website, free student tickets will be available 1 hour before each performance and will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. Free tickets are only available in person at the Jurgensen box office, and students must present a valid UConn ID to claim their free tickets. UConn News continues after this break. A former UConn purchasing agent is out on bond today after being arrested for threatening to shoot up her workplace. UConn police say 60-year-old Susan Tash was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and second-degree threatening, which are both misdemeanors. In August, she was placed on paid administrative leave after her arrest, and she later resigned. Tash pled not guilty to the charges and is expected back in court on October 1st. With Hurricane Doreen now out of the picture for the U.S., Mansfield is encouraging residents to prepare in case of a natural disaster here in eastern Connecticut. Mansfield residents are encouraged to sign up for Code Red, the alert system used in case of evacuations or other emergency plans. Folks can sign up at mansfieldct.gov. Alerts will be sent via phone, text, and email when the program is in use. And speaking of severe weather, an EF1 tornado was confirmed by the National Weather Service last week right here in Mansfield. The National Weather Service says that the tornado lasted 3.2 miles and left behind lots of damage in both the Mansfield and Coventry areas. It was the second week in a row that stores faced tornado warnings on a Wednesday. Most don't know, but there are 19 fraternities and sororities on campus that focus on culture, and last week they hosted their annual beginning of the year showcase. On Thursday, the Student Union Ballroom was filled with students watching the Meet the Greeks showcase. The event, hosted by the Intercultural Greek Council and the National Pan-Hellenic Council, gave the cultural fraternities and sororities on campus the opportunity to give out information, answer questions, and perform for those interested in joining. Connor Dugum, a graduate assistant for the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Development, says not many people know about cultural Greek life, but this event helps the organizations get their names out.
It's kind of to introduce students of all walks and backgrounds to the idea that there are fraternities and sororities and councils and organizations out there that are not like that typical what you would think of when you think like fraternity and sorority life.
Throughout the night, representatives of each organization explained a little about the history of their sorority or fraternity and about their philanthropy. Many have said their group is Asian interest or Latino interest, but not exclusive, meaning anyone is able to join. Emily Fong, a junior at UConn and a member of Kappa Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated, says the goal of the event is to find others who are interested in joining.
We hope that they can get a pretty good sense of what cultural Greek life is like and some of the traditions that we have. And we're also hoping that they can use this event to see if Greek life is right for them and see if they can see themselves in any of our organizations.
The National Pan-Hellenic Council, which governs the historically African American fraternities and sororities, was established at UConn in 1992. The Intercultural Greek Council was established in 2002 and oversees all other cultural and multicultural groups. Christina Fang, a junior management major, says it was her first time attending the once-a-year event and that she was surprised to see how many people are part of the community.
I was really interested in coming here tonight after hearing that there is an event with all of the cultural fraternities and sororities on campus, so it's really interesting for me to get a glimpse at what all of them are about, when they're all founded, what their charities are, and it was really enriching tonight to be able to see not only them demonstrate their culture through dancing and strolling, but also just to be able to see all the members on campus that are part of the organizations. It's really cool.
But that'll do for us here tonight at UCTV News. Be sure to check out UCTV on social media at UCTV Channel 14 and tune in next week for another edition of UCTV News. Good night.